Now that you know what you want and you've started to create your ideal love story, let's talk about your partner. And at the end of this video, I like to give an example to make this process easier to follow. Hi there, I'm Adila, your expert in all things manifestation. If you're new here, I'm a manifestation coach helping you create your ideal lifestyle by telling your ideal story. My motto is if I can help at least one person, I have done my job. If you'd like for me to help you create your story that's tailored to your specific desires, head over to my website, thisisyourstory.co, where I offer email coaching and free ebooks to help get you started. Before I manifested my last relationship, I decided to make a list. And I think this is a very good practice if you are kind of experiencing certain people and they're not really showing up how you want them to. At the time, I had gotten out of a relationship that I honestly thought would be forever, but there were so many things wrong with the relationship, and I wanted more of the opposite of that, truly. So I decided to take the things that I didn't like in that relationship and write down exactly what I wanted. And when notice, one thing you'll notice is that when you do this today, the things that you say that you wanted will expand. It'll evolve over time. Because back then, when I made that list, I mean, it was years ago now, but when I made that list, it expanded and I changed it and it evolved into things that I never even thought of at that initial time. At the time of making that list, I really just wanted a relationship that was committed with a person that was trustworthy, with someone who I would have fun with, someone who I felt really comfortable with. And we just had a really fun, committed relationship. I wasn't really necessarily looking for marriage, but I was just looking for someone better, to be honest. I wanted someone who was 10 times better than the person that I had before. And I have to also say that at that time, I was heavy into like the law of attraction and practicing the law of attraction and looking at manifestation in a different way than I do now. But it still worked. So I still like this method because what it did was help me focus on, what I truly wanted. What did I want to experience in a partner? What did I really want without limitation? And I don't have that list anymore, but there were certain qualities that I still remember that I put on it. So I remember wanting someone to have an occupation like a teacher. In my mind, I thought that teachers or people who work with children are like very patient, they're kind, they're respectful. Kids are a good judge of character. So I thought that if kids loved them, then they would also love my children too, and they would get along well with them. So I wanted somebody who had that kind of teacher persona. I wanted someone who was intellectually stimulating. I wanted to have good conversations with them. I wanted to be able to talk about everything, deep conversations. I wanted someone who had a good relationship with their family, someone who had a good relationship with their mother, someone who valued family. And I wanted someone who was handsome. I wanted them to be taller than me. I didn't specify their height, but I wanted to feel comfortable wearing heels around them. And I'm tall myself. So that meant that I wanted a tall partner. I wanted somebody who was sexy to me and who had a certain body type. There's a certain body type that I like, and I want you to be open to like being specific about what you really want, because like people would sometimes assume because of my body type, I want someone with a similar, softer body type. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I like tall guys who are kind of skinny, but like have muscles. They're muscular and they're strong. So, be specific about what you want. And you can even uh tailor it down to like their eye color, what type of what's their hair like, hairstyle, any of that. One thing that's really important when you're looking at your partner is looking at how your compatibility and talking about how in sync you are and how you're always on the same page and how you get along so well, how it's really easy to be in a relationship with this type of person. And that also comes along with their personality traits. Like if they're a kind, caring, generous person, do they like to provide for you? Do they like to take care of you? Do they see you as their queen, their king? Like whoever you're manifesting, you want to be specific about these different areas, and we're being specific about what we want in a person. So you want to emphasize these ideal characteristics, and for me, I want someone who's not only good to me but they're good to others, right? When we go out, they're nice to the waiter, they're nice to the waitress, they're nice to the hostess. um that is important to me. I want to have a person who gets along well with others, um who's just a nice person overall, like it has a good outlook on the world, things like that. But you basically want to make a list of like their attributes and their personality traits and their physical attributes and like what type of work they do. You can get as specific as you want, and you can be general at the same time. So for my list, I was very specific with, the honesty, they're trustworthy, they're um sexy, all of that stuff, right? Because I'm particular in my relationship. I want a person that I get along well with, who really gets me, who gets my personality. I don't have to like try hard to explain stuff or anything like that. I just want it to be easy and natural, and we just have fun together and we enjoy the same kinds of things, and we don't have to enjoy the same kind of food, but they're open to like, the type of restaurants we go to. And but I like someone who's a little more spontaneous and who's very open to new experiences, because that's how I am. But even you can be general and talk about how, you know me and this person, we just get along so well. That's not very specific, but it implies that you have a great relationship, that you're always on the same page. So all I remember really is at the end of that piece of paper, because I think that piece of paper was probably like 3 pages long, but it doesn't have to be. But me, I was just in this space where I was like, okay, I'm done with all of these, old types guys. And, I want somebody who's mature and, X, Y, and Z. But I made the list, and I remember at the bottom, I said, I want to be wowed. I just want to be wowed. And I wrote that at the bottom. And I folded up that piece of paper and I put it in a bottom drawer. I didn't look at it. I didn't keep, because this is kind of how the law of attraction used to describe manifestation. Like you just make your list and then you take your mind off of it. So I put it in a drawer, didn't really think about it. And then I ended up meeting somebody, and I knew he wasn't it, like after a month or so of talking to him. But then the next person I met was my boyfriend. And then we were together for about 4 years or so. And the story about that relationship is a story for another time, because there's so many things that transpired during that time, because I had been introduced to the law of assumption. So he was reflecting like all of these things that I was going through when learning about the law of assumption. But for this video in particular, you're just going to get specific about what you want in your person, what who they are. Like if you're talking to a friend and you're describing your person to them and you're saying, hey, like, tell me about this new person that you're with. I've heard all these good things, but like, what are they really like? You're describing how your day is with that person, the types of things that they do to you, like meaning like spoil you, buy you gifts, whatever it is, and you don't be shy about it because you're creating this person and they'll show up and cater to you in that way and it'll feel totally normal. It won't feel like you have to do a song and dance for them to act a certain way. It's exactly, they're going to show up exactly how you are describing them. So here are some traits that you can list about your ideal person. Here are a few things that I just wrote. So they are handsome, sexy, ambitious, rich, successful, generous, giving, loving, mature, intelligent, catering, loyal, honest, spontaneous, available physically and emotionally. They have integrity. They are happy. They love life. And then you can talk about how that translates into your relationship. They respect me. They show up for me. They take care of me. They love me. They adore me. They celebrate me. They protect me. And just pausing here, thinking about that list, imagine what your life would be like with a person like that. Someone who adores you, who's generous, who dotes on you, who caters to you, who's spontaneous, who wants to just take you on a trip out of the blue, who is good to themselves, who loves themselves, who loves on you, who loves the world. It's inevitable that you would have a beautiful relationship. These are the types of ways that you want to describe your person. And it doesn't matter if there's no person that you can see in existence that will fit that. They'll show up and you'll be wowed. Like I was wowed. And oh my God, I would boost his ego so bad because I've never said this, but I was wowed in my last relationship. Wowed. I mean, he like blew me away. He was nothing like anybody else I had ever dated in my life, but I had never done that practice before. So this stuff really works. But I want to quickly note that even if you do have a relationship that you're currently in, or you're creating a new relationship with somebody who that you want to come back into your life, when you start describing that specific person like that, you will have that person return to you in this way. It's like a whole new person because it's a different version of that person and it's a different reality that you are creating by describing them as that. They will show up as a new person and you will be another person. Stay with me. I know it sounds wild, but you will be another person matching that. All you do is write out this list and claim it as true for you now. I love that this is my person now. I love that they show up for me like this. And what you'll see is that, like, I used to like watch movies and see like someone being so loving towards their wife or towards their girlfriend and be like, "Ooh, I like that," or "Ooh, I want this." And I'd add it and I describe my person as that. And they would act like that. They would do those things. So this is just like a foundational list, but you'll see that this list will evolve over time. The ideas in your imagination will start to become more vivid, and then you'll start to just be adding more and more and more, more and more. So create your list. That's the second part of your story. The first part was just deciding what you wanted. The second part is getting your list together of that person for your love story. And night after night, even if we're not done with this series or you haven't watched all the videos for manifesting love, we are still taking these lists and claiming that this is true for us. And you're falling asleep in that story. So you're saying, I love that I am married now to this amazing man, amazing woman. I have the best partner ever. I love that I am in this blissful marriage. And your mind will ping to all of these things that make your marriage blissful. Oh, yeah, they did that yesterday. Oh, they did this. And it doesn't even matter if they're not here yet. I promise you, the imagination just goes wild with all of these stories that you're telling yourself. And but right before you go to bed, you want to say, I love that I'm in this relationship. You can close your eyes. Ideally, you want to close your eyes, but I love that I'm in this relationship. It's so amazing. They love me so much and they show me every single day. You fall asleep in that story night after night. All right. If you like content like this, let me know by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.